Good morning, my friends. Happy 1st of July. Guess what time it is? It is time for our energy report. So just going into the collective Akashic Records and to get some information that can help you for the month ahead. So I would love to hear from you in the comments. How did you navigate June? It was quite a heavy, dense month for a lot of us. A lot coming to the surface. I can already feel that there is stuff in our throats as I've just opened up the Akashic Records, and I can already feel like there's definitely like a lump in the throat, but there's also a lot just sitting on the chest. It's almost like that heaviness. So this is what we're going to get into today. So make sure you go and get yourself a lovely beverage and just sit down and take all of this in. As always, please just take what resonates for you when we're doing a collective energy report. Remember, this is for the collective. So it's for everyone that tunes in, and every piece of information is going to resonate with you differently. Okay, so please always just take what resonates for you and leave the rest at the door. And if you would like to get more specific information, or you would like to go and do some more inner healing work, of course, I will link everything below in the show notes for today's report so that you can reach out and work with me one-on-one. All right, let's get into the report. There's a lot just coming up. All right, so let's just start. We're just going to take a breath. So they're really just referencing first this, and I'm feeling it in the throat already. They're saying for a lot of us, yes, June has been a really significant month. And they're kind of showing me like it's like this flipping. Okay, hang on a second. They're just referencing the throat still, but they're just showing me an image of like, it's like a coin that's like showing me the flip side. And they're like, yes, this has been energetically a hard, dense month as we work through layer after layer after layer. And it can very much feel like, oh God, like this is just never going to end. But they're saying we're going into the depths of ourselves that we've never been to before. And it's almost like this lump in the throat. They're saying it indicates where there is still work to do. We're not all the way in. They're saying we're not all the way invested into being in our authenticity. We're not all the way in to speaking our truth. It's like they're showing me it's not that we're not willing to, but they're saying it's because of the programming, it's because of the thought patterns, it's because of the collective energy that we kind of in a way just falling victim and falling back into almost the traps of the third dimensional reality. So they're saying it's not that we're, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're saying it's harder because of this programming. And what it takes to really step into that authenticity is to really let go of all of those conditions, those programs, those ways that we have always been. And they're saying that's a really scary concept for a lot of us, because even though we all want to be moving further along in the timeline, we all want to be moving closer to that ascension point, we all want to be living from this fifth dimensional reality. For a lot of us, there is still attachment to the 3D. There is still attachment to our jobs. There is still attachment to money. And they're saying there's nothing wrong with that. It makes it a harder process, because it's almost like there's constraints on us. So it's like to try, and for many of us, they're saying this is where this uncomfortableness comes from, is because we're operating in that third dimensional reality, but we're also operating in the fifth dimensional reality. And they're saying it's very much like, almost like you're living two complete lives. When you can tap into your fifth dimensional and above self, you're feeling the lightness, you feel the shifts coming, you feel yourself engaging differently. But then when we drop down and we're in the third dimensional constraint, it feels very heavy, it feels very dense, it feels like you can't take that step forward, and it feels like, what's the point? We just stop. And it's very tiring. So they're saying it's this version of us that is feeling very, very worn out at a very deep, it is at a deep energetic level, but they're also saying it's at a deep soul level. They're saying it's just referencing, it's the lifetimes of moving through these programs, trying to raise our vibration to live in this more harmonious fifth dimensional version of ourselves, which is what we're all striving to get to for this lifetime, right? That's how we start to collectively, we're going to ascend, because we're all then at this level, those that choose to be. So they're saying this is the struggle, and it shows up within the throat chakra because we're not fully in soul alignment. We're not fully living from that place of wholeness. We're not fully living from that place of our soul because we feel constricted by the third dimensional realities that we've always had. So they're saying this is how it's showing up. And there's almost like this, it's like a spread out heaviness across the chest, almost like it's just like that pushing down. And it's like every time we're trying to come up, and you might, have a week, days that you're kind of like feeling more light, like, oh, okay, right, we've got through that. And then it's almost like this weight comes down again, and you're like, oh, okay, we're back in it again. So they're saying it's almost like, take those days as a breather, the days where you feel lighter, the days where you can connect more into your heart, the days that you can connect more into your spirit guides, into source energy. They're saying take those days as just like just almost like relish in them, and really just let yourself fully be in them, not thinking about, oh, when's the next low going to come. They're saying this will help to enjoy it when we have it. And they're saying, but this is collectively what so many of us are going through. It's not just singular as like it's one person. Collectively we're going through this because in this time, yes, we are still third dimensional beings on this planet, so there will be times that we have to be in the 3D reality, but it may just start to be that it's just those little moments that we fall back into it. And they're saying this is what we're just currently doing. So it's like this flip-flop they keep showing me. It's like we go from that, and it's like flipping the coin, and we go back and forth. All right, they wanted to bring that through first. Okay, so they're saying the next thing that they really want to bring through and share with you is that through July, and this will be right up, okay, they're saying this is like July, August, even into the very, they're showing me like the first week of September. They're saying there will continue to be highs and lows for all of us. That's a natural part of life. They're saying it's also part of like this program that we believe that we're just going to go up, 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 up. They're saying that's not the human experience. It's not what you signed up for, to just be like this skyrocket. They're saying there will be moments of that, but it might mean that like the turn down isn't as harsh, or it's just, starting to come up, and for it to move in a bit more of a gentle way. But they're saying for a lot of us, this is how we learn the lessons. It's through the hard times that when we learn the most. And they're saying we understand how difficult it is, and we understand the difficulties that you go through as a human race. But they're saying please understand the higher perspective, that this lifetime is not long, and this up and down that you experience is part of the evolution of your soul. This is how you learn, this is how you grow, this is how you evolve. And so they're saying that will still keep occurring. It's not just, they're saying it's almost like it's this preconceived idea that, well, if I'm in that higher vibrational state all of the time, then it's just kind of like I'm just going to keep rocketing. But they're saying that's not necessarily, you're not going to learn just by having all of the highs. But they're saying you also, for many of us who have been in the depths of the 3D reality for many lifetimes, so thousands and thousands of years of the lack, the scarcity, all of the wounding, the being the victim, being powerless. They're saying that's also not our reality that we need to stand for and keep being in. So they're saying it's almost like, for those of us that have been in those depths and we've learnt all of those really harsh lessons through this part of our life, is that yes, it's now a push for you to come up and to come out of those programmings, but also to understand that it's not just, there's no point. So they're just showing me, it's like, you know, it's like we are programmed to believe we're just going to get to this point and then it's just like, woo, like, you know, party time, sitting on a beach, you know, just kicking back. But they're saying that's not necessarily the soul's path. Okay, so what's going to continue to happen is the highs and lows. Those of us that have been stuck in the depths, it is time to come and climb up the mountain and to start to feel some relief, because you're dropping out of the programs, you're dropping out of the density, you're dropping out of the victimhood, but also to remember it's not just going to keep going up. Okay, there will be times that we have to come back down. There'll be further levels and layers of healing to do, but when we drop down, we don't go into the depths that we once have. And they're saying it's almost like as we come back down, it's almost like we feel like it's the slippery slope and we want to be trying to back out of it and go back up because we don't want to deal with it. It's like, oh, I've had enough of that. But they're saying it's starting to understand that it's a deeper layer that you've never been to in lifetimes, not just this lifetime. And they're saying this is part of what we signed up for this lifetime, is because we all signed up for this to be the lifetime that Earth ascends. We all signed up to do our part collectively to move that needle forward. So they're saying this is why we've never been into these depths of ourselves before, because we've never hit this point of ascension. We've had many failed attempts, and they're just referencing Lemuria, Atlantis. These were failed attempts of ascension, and it ended up in the destruction. That is not the trajectory for this lifetime, for this timeline, for this evolution. It is for us to evolve and to reach the point of ascension this time. So they're saying they just really want you to understand that the level that you are working at, the things that you are moving through have never been done before. And they're saying this is why it can almost feel like Groundhog Day. Keep coming back, but they're saying it's almost like we're going deeper and deeper. They're showing me almost like this spiral, and it's like getting really into the very bottom, the very depths of it, and clearing from there. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, the next thing they want to bring through is they're showing me, okay, let's just go on to some lighter news. But they're also saying, like, they don't want you to be bogged down like, oh, great, like more healing, more work to do. There is also big moments of light. There are big moments of ahas, epiphanies, and it's like they want you to imagine like they're not showing me a slingshot, but it's almost like, you know, it's like, okay, so it's like what they just showed us of this, like, kind of like we're spiraling down through the layers, really getting into like the core, right, at the very bottom of this almost like cyclone cone energy, right, that they're bringing. What they're saying is, like, they're showing me it's almost like it boils up, like, so it's like as you go into the depths, it's almost like, and they're showing me this is like that pushing down feeling that we feel, like it's almost like it's compacting and it's so uncomfortable and we're like, oh, I just can't handle this anymore. But it's almost like it's the pressure cooker, right? And it's like as that all lifts and explodes, it comes back up, and it's almost like it pushes you up like a rocket. You kind of go whoo, and they're saying it's kind of like it propels you much as you push down. It's that levitation. It's like that, you know, extra action that goes whoo and pushes you into those higher states. And they're just showing me it's like, but when you reach that now, it's like this light, like it's just like illuminating, like the brightest white and golden light that I can see. And they're saying this is then what you're getting into, which again is what you've never reached before. You've never reached these frequencies, you've never reached these dimensions, or it's been a very long time because we've never had access to them in human form. So they're saying it's also elevating you, and through this elevation, of course, that trickles into your entire light grid. So they're saying then that gives more epiphanies, more aha moments, because you're connecting into the higher versions, the higher realms, the higher dimensions of yourself. And they're saying for a lot of us, then it's almost like in the next 6 months, it's almost like, okay, they're showing me it's like a connection, like things are connecting in within the next 6 months. So connecting more into your purpose, not so much, yes, in elements collective purpose, but they're saying more your individual purpose is all really coming online and clicking into place. They're saying there will be upgrades in relationships, there'll be upgrades in jobs, there'll be upgrades in monetary, like money coming in for many of you, and also different opportunities coming in. So it's like this is also, so they want to reference this of like, it's not just the depths of going down, doing more healing and digging and, you know, moving through the layers. There's also the upside of like you're getting all of these, and they're saying more gifts are going to start to come online within the next 6 months. There's a lot more telepathic communication coming in. They're just saying it's coming in a very big, significant way. For many of you, there'll be much more telepathic communication. They're saying with these new up levels, up skills, because many of you already are working with most of your clairsense, some of your soul gifts are already online. They're saying with that though, it comes a new level of responsibility. A new level of responsibility meaning checking in, and they're saying a big thing at the moment is there's a lot of distortions within, not within our individual fields, but there's a lot of distortions with what we channel. There's a lot of distortions with guides right now. So they're kind of referencing that fake light energy coming in, where, you know, perhaps you lay down to meditate, or during your sleep state, or, you know, you go to an event and you kind of maybe meet a new guide, or you go on a spiritual journey. Okay, so they're referencing this because it's like, as this comes online, there can't be any distortion, there can't be any disillusion. So they're saying it's really crucial in the next few months, especially, that particularly if you're a healer, a practitioner, a coach, that you are doing daily work to keep your all right, they're just bringing back to the throat, that you're doing daily work to keep yourself cleansed of all impurities. And they're saying that's across the line, so physical, mental, emotional, and really practicing that discernment as new things come in. They're saying there has to be an element of us questioning things. Like, we can't just go in like we have before. They're saying there's this new level of there's a new level of discernment. In other words, is like you've got to really be like, you know, they're saying that's going to be really important as these telepathic communications come online, is that we've got to be really discerning about who we are speaking to, who we are channeling, who messages are coming through, because they're saying that it's almost like it's like this very big infiltration of this fake light right now. And they're saying it's important now more than ever to be very discerning within your own practices about what's coming through, and again collectively what we tune into, what we listen to. Does that resonate for me? If there's a bit of I'm not sure about that, they're saying listen to that calling, listen to your higher self. It may not explain why, but you've got to listen to that. They're saying that's going to be very important moving forward, is to have that level of discernment and just knowing your truth, knowing the truth of what sits right with you and what doesn't. And they're saying it's almost like there's many tests going on around trust, around, they're saying it's with trust, but it's like trusting yourself more. It's almost like we're getting that. Do we just believe what spirits are saying, whether that's coming to us directly or people we maybe tune into to listen to for information? They're saying exactly like this, what you're doing right now of listening to this report. There may be parts that resonate for you, and then it's like leave the rest, and saying that's a very important thing to listen to. You may listen to this whole report and go, that's not for me. They're saying that's okay. It's having this level of awareness is what they're bringing up. And they're saying as these come on, it's almost like, so they're saying what happens with every time that we're leveling up, right? So we're having these level up. One, positions change. For many light workers that have been, working on themselves, doing this work for, the no time given. They're saying for this life, right? They're saying many of you have been getting upgrades, and it's almost like the more you upgrade, it's like a new position. Many light workers are now getting the call to step into new earth leadership roles, to be that support, to be in this higher bracket, so that then they can help those in this bracket, and it's like then these people can help this bracket. And it's like as we go through more and more awakenings and more of the collective comes online, it's like each bracket is to help the bracket underneath. And they're saying it's just to start to understand that if you've been doing this, you've been in this work for a long time, you're getting this call to go up into there. What comes with that is a new level of responsibility. What comes with that is a new level of skills. And what comes with that is being so pure in your channel, so that when things are coming in, there is no way that there can be distortions. There's no way that there can be disillusions coming through, and that you are not, almost like you're not open to channel anything but truth. You're not able to go into any lower dimensional realms. You're not able to take any of that on, and it's almost like you're so protected, so in your authenticity, so in like a bubble of light, and almost like that very or warrior energy, right? So it's like, no, nothing's going to mess with me. I know exactly what I'm here to do. They're saying that's what's coming in for this new level. And that means more responsibility that you have to take in being that clear vessel. So cleansing your energetic field, making sure you're doing regular clearing work to be the strongest that you can be to move up into this level. That's what they want to bring through. Okay. All right, let's get into energetically wise for the month of July. What we need to, let's start with what's the main themes that will be coming up for July. Okay, so they're bringing us straight back to the throat. So it's about stepping into new roles, stepping into new responsibility. And they're saying it's the practice of stepping more into your authentic self. So it may not be necessarily associated with something on the 3D physical sense as like, I've got a new job and I've got new responsibility, but they're saying at this stage, it may be a internal shift that happens. Like I'm ready to step into this level within my business. I'm ready to step up to receive this level of information, whatever that may be for you. They're saying it may be an internal before it's an external thing. That's the first thing that they want to bring through. And there's also going to be, there's still a lot of heart activations going on, and higher heart activations as well. There's still very much clearing out collectively. There's still a lot of grief and sadness held within the heart, and it's almost like, so remember, as these 3D programs, beliefs, everything that's been really instilled in us collectively, as these start to fade away, as they start to dissipate, as we start to move out of them, what happens is there's almost like we go through that mourning period, that grief, that sadness, because it's like that old version of you has in fact metaphysically and metaphorically died. Okay, so there's still a lot of this death rebirth coming through, and they're saying that could be in even daily. Like if you've chosen a very fast ascension rate, there can be this death rebirth, death rebirth, death rebirth, death rebirth on a daily basis. And they're saying it's also why we feel so tired, but they're saying this is where this sadness and grief comes from, because we have to mourn that period, and it's almost like it's to let yourself be in that so that it can actually close off that timeline. It can close off that older, denser version of you, so that then you can move into that next higher timeline. So they're saying that's what we've already been moving through. They're saying the last few months. It will continue for those that haven't experienced that the last few months intensely. You'll be moving through that this month, and those that have been doing that the last few months, there will be kind of like a little bit, not so much a void, but it's almost like the first few weeks of July will just kind of feel neutral. Okay, and they're saying it's just a neutral space. It's not good, it's not bad, but it's almost just to give you just that little bit of a replenishment, just to get you just to be like, I can just take a breath. It's not, and they're saying there can be a false sense that it's peace and contentment, because it's almost like we haven't truly experienced peace and contentment with nervous system dysregulation, with all of the wounding and the traumas that we hold. It's almost like we've been, they're referencing, it's like we've been living in this fake version of what true peace and contentment looks like. They're saying what you've actually been moving into is neutral. But because we've not experienced those highs of just pure peace and contentment for long periods that it feels like it's this. So they're saying you're just moving into this neutral space. It'll only be for they're saying like the first week and a half of July, just to give you this breath. And then it's almost like as you have this breath, this breather, just replenish your energy. Just, you know, you won't be getting big downloads. You won't be moving through big layers of grief or sadness. It's just that neutral space, right? And they're saying then it can take you into the next level for you. Okay. All right. And they're saying, okay, so with our 7/7 portal, they're saying it's a beautiful manifestation window. Definitely not as strong as Lionsgate for our 8/8 portal, but they're saying it's almost like it's the jumping block, okay? And this is why they keep referencing kind of like this next 3-month span. It's like you can use the 7/7 portal to really anchor into what the new reality is for you, to kind of project forward. So they're saying it's like getting us ready, and they're saying the 8/8 portal is going to be very, very significant worldwide. Like there is going to be phenomenal shifts that happen from the 8/8 portal. And I'm getting goosebumps all up my arms as I say that. So, but what they want to reference is the 7/7 portal is to use and harness that energy to start to go, right, I've done all of this healing. I've moved through all of this. I'm sitting in this, and they're saying it's kind of like the end of this neutral space that you're in at the week. The first week of July is to sit in this 7/7 portal and actually go, right, take a moment to really just to sink into your heart, to really connect to your soul and go, what is it that I truly want for this next chapter? And they're saying, see what you've been in as this chapter closing, because it's like this, you've been through all of these cycles, that death, rebirth, they're just referencing, right? So they're saying as you move into this 7/7 portal, I've closed all of these chapters. What is it that I truly want and desire to move forward in my life? And they're saying just sit with that, write things down, create a vision board, whatever it is. But they're saying you don't need to fully attached to it. Like they're saying, don't get into that kind of overly possessive, obsessed energy about your manifestation, but just like this is like the vision that I have. This is like, just write things down, sit and marinate in it about this is what I want moving forward. And they're saying that it's going to be a beautiful energy just to do that. And it's almost like it's a reset, a restart. So it's like moving into this last half of 2024 with this new desire, this new passion, this new kind of outlook moving forward, because you're not looking through the lens of all these old past versions of you. You're now going to be able to look forward with this new perspective, with this kind of new frequency that you are. So it's like the things that they're saying, look at it as a calibration, so to really sit in it, because they're saying the things that you once wanted maybe no longer align with you. So they're saying it's a chance to get very clear about what it is that you want moving forward. And so it's almost like your higher self, your team, it's like you can sit in it, and it's almost like you're giving the universe a checklist. This is actually what I want to do. And it's like being able to then go, okay, right, universe, how do we co-create this together? How do we bring this forward? And they're saying it's because you're going to be in these new frequencies that those manifestations will come through much more easier than what they have in the past, because you're no longer in those denser frequencies and attached to the 3D anymore. We're moving into these higher frequencies, and more can start to come through. But it's also like the same things that we once wanted aren't really significant anymore. So they're saying this is when that manifestation windows will really start to open up to propel you forward. Okay, we're going to see, they're saying we're going to see sizable activity still streaming into the planet. There will be continued blackouts on the Schumann resonance in July. Okay, they're just showing there'll be one around 7/7 portal day, but then there seems to be more sizable activity, more like the 3rd, 4th week of July coming through. But they're saying we're kind of we've become so accustomed to them. They don't necessarily knock us around the way they used to on the physical or the emotional sense. For some, they'll still feel them and feel a little bit wobbly, but we definitely won't feel them as intensely as we have. It's almost like the crystalline grids, the crystalline body has become so used to them. There'll be a lot more activations, upgrades that come from these ones, more than feeling like the purge, the ascension symptoms for many. So they're just referencing, remember, some people will still feel them, and that's okay. They're not behind, they're exactly where they need to be. Some it'll be much more about the up leveling, the activations, because they're ready for that, and those people are kind of like, it's almost like it's their time to go into those higher levels that, remember, they referenced before about like the new earth leaders. It's like stepping up into these new categories because you've got to help the people kind of where you are right now. So they're just referencing that. Okay, they're just showing me also, they're just showing me like the ocean, like ocean waves, and I'm seeing like the moon. There's almost like, there's something, they're saying like a king tide, supermoon. I don't know, I have not looked at, I don't look at anything before I do these energy reports, but they're just referencing, I'm not sure if there's a supermoon this month, and it's going to bring through king tides or something, but they're just showing me ocean waves, and I just see the full moon at night, and they're saying there's something potent about this energy. It's doing something for the planet. Okay, they're just saying that the planet will also receive. Okay, so they're just saying because of the ongoing influx of light streaming in, of course Earth herself will start to receive more. So they're saying there'll be changes on the planet as well, and she's gone through this death and rebirth as well. There's something about this full moon for July that it's almost like there's something with the water that's going to bring change to the planet. So I don't know if it's like king tides, so a tsunami or something like that, but there's something about the waves, the ocean, and with the full moon. Okay, I'm not sure what that's referencing. Can you give me any more information? They're saying that's all I can tell you right now. Okay. All right, is there anything else that we need to bring forward? Any other messages that you want to bring through for the collective for July? Okay, they just want to bring through, they're saying, please keep your chin up. Please be proud of what you've done, not only as an individual and what you've done so far on your healing, on your growth, on your evolution journey, but being proud of what we have done collectively to get to this point. They're saying again, collectively, we never got this far, even through Atlantis and Lemuria. We never reached this level, this depth of where we are right now. And while it may feel that you're struggling, you're overwhelmed, you're moving through all of these things, they're just saying, remember collectively, like, we're all doing our bit. Yes, some of us have taken on more roles. Yes, some of us are clearing collective stuff. Yes, some of us are working for the planet. Some of us are working for groups of people. So they're saying, just please take a moment to just, it's almost like just to see the magic that has come through. See all that has happened. See how fast this ascension, this timeline is now moving. It's because of the collective. It's because everyone's, even if you're not aware on a conscious level, subconsciously, your soul knows that we've all been doing this work for a reason. And they're saying that's really something to celebrate, and also something to really remember is that this is all for a reason. This is all for us all to move into this new energy, into these new timelines. So they're saying, please just take a moment to keep your chin up and go, wow. And they're saying, when you can really connect into your heart, it's almost like there's tears that we want to cry, we want to weep, tears of joy, of like, wow, like I can really see and feel and sense, yes, we've done so much to get to this point, and we will continue to do that. We are the change. We are bringing forward this change, even though it may feel very slow, it may feel very tedious at times, it may feel like, what's the point? We're never going to get there. They're saying, on the larger scale, please see what has already happened and developed and will continue to happen. Okay. The final thing that they want to just do is they really want you this month is to really just they're saying to sink into this vision of, they're saying to anchor into the light, but to start to really see, they want you to start to see life beyond this point of ascension, right? Okay, because we're kind of all really focused on getting to this ascension point. But they're saying what they would like you to do is start to visualize, what does, when we've all released all of the trauma, when we've released all of the wounding, when, you know, money is no longer a struggle for all of us, when we're all, you know, all the poverty, you know, there's no more homelessness, right? They're saying when we start to, like, not that we're just trying to bypass that, but they're saying we want you to start to see that as everyone kind of comes up, that, and it's like, see past the ascension point. If you could create the new earth, what would that look like? What would it be? So just saying, like, they're almost like they're saying, give yourself permission to see what that can look like. How would you bring change? What systems, you know, what, they're saying, like, what would your community look like? Okay, so not so much just about the individual, but what does your community look like? What does your country look like? What does, you know, what are the things in place? You might say, well, like, there's no more government, you know, and there's no more money, and everyone's got a house and everyone's got this. They're saying that's the energy that they want you to get into, and to start to just see beyond this. And if I could create what this new earth is, this is what's going on. And they're saying this is the work moving forward. For many of us, it's about getting to this ascension point. They're saying it in this half of the year and moving into 2025 and to 2026, this will become much more, the focus is really like, what does new earth look like? How do I, it's like we know, you know, when we work with energy, it's all about our intention. They're saying this is exactly what we're doing. We know when we manifest, we create the vision board. They're saying this is exactly what we are now starting to do for New Earth. It's like you're starting to create the new reality that we will move into when we get past this point of ascension. And they're saying that's got to be the outlook for many of us now, is it's the next chapter, it's the next part of evolution. It's like creating and bringing these things through. It's not everyone's role is to now get everyone to the ascension point. Enough people are now, it's like we've built the momentum. It's like we've got to see past that point now and go further. So they're saying it's like, you know, this big chunk of light workers that, you know, it's like we've got to help all these people, we've got to get them to ascension. And it's like these people now are being moved to this area. It's like, okay, we've got them to that point. Now we've got to start to help them to manifest the new reality. We've got to see what this new earth looks like, how it's all going to function, what systems. They're saying that's now the next part for many light workers, is to take people past this point. What does that mean for us? And they're saying it'll be a big thing for some of you. It will be now that you're doing this work. Not all of us. Some still have other roles that we're going to be doing and we will continue to do for the next few years, but a lot are going to be moving into this work. It's like bringing people to this point. It's like because they're ready for that next part of the journey. That's what they want to bring through. All right, they want to just end by just bringing through, they just want to bring through that feeling of unconditional love. They want you to all to just, not by the words that they're saying, they want you just to feel. So they're saying, please just place your hand on your heart. Just take a breath. Just be open to receiving just this blessing, this healing that they're bringing through. Bringing all of your team, your spirit guides in, who are all of the highest vibration of source consciousness. Just allowing them to surround you and just feel in that moment just how loved, just how supported you are. Your team all knows how hard this ride is here. They all know. And they're saying they're here for you to lean on, to ask for help. That's what they're here for. It's why they've assigned to each of us. They're here to help through this biggest work that we've ever done. To just take that in. Sending you so much love. We're just going to close down the collective records now. Mother God, thank you for coming to my aid. Thank you to all the beings of love and light who have assisted the process. The Akashic Records are now closed. The Akashic Records are now closed. The Akashic Records are now closed. So just taking a breath. Just allowing yourself to come all the way back into your body. Welcoming you all back. So I hope that the channeled messages coming through resonate for you. Again, please always just take what does resonate and leave the rest. It may be that in a collective reading that it's for someone else, and each bit may not resonate. As I said, if you would like to go deeper into your own healing, if you would like to just receive channeled messages from your unique guides within the Akashic Records, you can of course book in for a one-on-one. You can come and learn to do the Akashic Records yourself with our trainings. I will link everything below. I'm feeling that July, for me, there's lots of new things coming on, so keep an eye, and if you're not already, make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. So this month, Wealth Codes is going to be coming out in the second half of July. So Wealth Codes is a money course, okay, that I've been working on for the last few months. There are quantum healings and frequency clearings and activations. So we're working through the entire light grid, but there's also lessons on money, and just helping you to understand where our money stories come from, and of course moving out of that lack and scarcity. So that will be available very, very soon. I'm very, very excited for that. Group events are going to be coming back. So from I've got to sit and do all this today because it's the first of the month, but we're going to bring back just online group events. So so my guides told me for this year that there was no room for events. We stopped all of our sound healings. I stopped teaching energy healing trainings in person, but they're saying it's now time to come back to doing a group class. It'll be just once a month, and it's going to be online, and it's just going to be if you're feeling really stuck, you just need a little bit of relief, each month you can come. We're going to be doing EFT tapping, we're going to be doing quantum healing, bringing through any healings, any activations for each group, and whoever wants to turn up, and it'll just be done on Zoom. You will interact and kind of see where you're at. So that will be coming as well. So like I said, please sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, because it is going to be the first place that you're going to hear about all of these and dates that they're coming out. I will link everything below. Thank you so much. I know this, I was like, wow, we're at 50 minutes already. So this one felt very long today, but I wanted to bring through a lot of information. So have a beautiful July. I hope that this helps you in some way. Make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss the energy reports or anything else that we bring out. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me do the things that I love, and to work with the Akashic Records and to bring these through for you. I am just so excited and blessed to be able to do the work that I do. So sending you so much love. Have a beautiful month, and I will see you next month for our next energy report. Bye for now.